Hello, everyone. It's Dr. Kim Duramo, and I want to share today some really big insights around the stagnation that happens in our body when we try to self-regulate, when we try to control, when we stifle what we're feeling out of that sense of like, I'm too much, or I'm more conscious than that, or what a lot of people come to my work to get assistance from me, but they've been taught this whole thing around my dysregulated nervous system and I've got to self-regulate. But they're actually doing it in a way that's suppressive. So for those of you who don't know me, I am a physician who is now sharing about mind-body medicine and consciousness and how that is the most powerful key to expansive health, vitality in the body, rebalancing, becoming younger as you move forward in life, living more and more fully and being more alive instead of like being on the program of just managing yourself, your body, your illness, and all the stuff we're taught about what we need to do to be healthy. So what I want to talk about a little is, so even like water, when there is stagnation, everybody knows this. So you have stagnant water sitting there in like a pond, and it becomes a swamp, and it becomes this like scummy, stagnant, it gets sick. When water stagnates, it gets sick. And that's a big thing that's happening for so many of us in our bodies, is this energetic stagnation. And we are, of course, like mostly made of water, but the energy currents in our body need to be open. We need to be in flow. And especially most of the people that I see in my practice are women. There are more and more men finding this work. And it's because we do all have a masculine and a feminine orientation. We all have within us alpha and omega. And if you're a more feminine-based person, feminine-based woman or man, you have more of that omega, that flow of energy, of current. And if you're more of the masculine-based man or woman, you have more of that like holding the container. It's the outer, it's the doing, it's the action. The omega is the unseen. It's the flow and change and the darkness and the inner. And in our culture, we've like really got these confused and made it wrong. One is better than the other. And that whole like Tony Robbins world of go, 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 do, overcome, rise above, be positive. But it's actually totally suppressing the emergence of the omega. And this is where so much stagnation happens in the body and we freaking become sick. So, especially for those of us with the omega orientation, more feminine energy, doesn't mean this is how you've identified yourself. You might think, no, I'm more of a doer, but you actually embody that as a way to overcome and as a way to get by and as a way to cope with life instead of it actually being your nature. So you really want to look at that. But that stagnancy makes us so freaking sick, and like all the medicine in the world will not open that up. And this is the core thing that I see when people come to me. And when I spoke with someone earlier today and we were talking about that like self-regulation, and I'm like, gosh, everybody who comes to see me is in that space of I gotta self-regulate. Well, what if you let yourself have a conscious unleashing instead? Like, I'm gonna just let that energy come through and feed your world. It clears your body. It dramatically ignites your partners, people who are in your life around you, to let them see that, whatever that looks like. But we make it so wrong. And so for me, this is what it would look like instead. It would look like, right inside, I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Holding it in, transmuting it in my body, breathe, self-regulate. But it was actually suppressive. It's like, let me just reel it in. I don't want to throw that all around. That's so unenlightened. Versus Aaron Levy says, I love that, a conscious unleashing. Well, that's really what it is, that's what came through for me, especially in the person that I was working with. This is the best way to like let it come through, because we make it wrong. We make it wrong to be that expressive. We make it wrong to be out of control. It's a big, big thing, especially as like a more feminine oriented person. You've got to let yourself operate out of control, because control is suppression. And I'm just going to tell you this. The big lie is, oh, if I let myself get out of control, it will be destructive. If I let myself get out of control, I'll eat the whole cake. If I let myself get out of control, I'll just run around, slamming everybody because my anger is so out of control. But what if you remember that the unleashing, I am unleashed, I choose to free myself. That alone puts you in a higher frequency state. It's not anger that is toxic to the body. It's suppressed anger that is toxic. It's deadly and destructive cellularly to the body. So what if you let yourself operate out of control and see what shows up? What is the nature of you? What wants to come through? What wants to express? Maybe it's beautiful. And I know with my husband, so I'm in a partnership. It's, pretty typical male-female monogamous marriage relationship, but we really go very deep in our communication. And I know he would way rather have from me the expressive, even if it's the like, and maybe some other residue comes along with it where I'm just so pissed of what I'm holding from the past that hasn't been allowed to move through, that comes through as well. But he would way rather have that than the stagnation of like, no, it's good, I'm okay, and like, let me go figure it out on my own. That's what I did for years. I did that, and it was like disgusting because I would get so pissed and stuff would really build up, but I didn't have a way that invited him into awakening and that set myself into freedom. And so what if you let yourself operate out of control? What if you let yourself be free to really express and share what you're actually feeling inside? Breathe all the way down to your core, to your pelvis. I guarantee you will awaken. You will see your world and the people around you awakening. Because a fully alive woman, you're an igniter. You are an igniter. And it will first and foremost ignite your body back into health, into vitality, into being fully alive. And it will absolutely ignite those around you. So if you're struggling in your relationships, not just your health and your body, most of the people that come to see me are having pretty severe like autoimmune, thyroid, adrenal fatigue, chronic fatigue, brain fog, anxiety, depression, all kinds of chronic illnesses. But then you want to look also like, can I really ignite my relationships? What's going on there? And maybe it's like, well, they're good. My relationships are good, but are they ignited? Are they alive? Is there real, profound connection and energy flowing? Or is it like, oh, it's love and it's good. And, what's your sexuality like? What's your sensuality like? Are you willing to be ignited? And actually, the retreat I've created for women is called Alive Woman with an exclamation point, because if you're ready to be fully alive, this is it. You got to go there for yourself. It's not about anyone else. And it feeds your cells and it lets you glow, but it really does create an ignition for everything around you. So if you're in lack, not enough money showing up, like look at the ways you have suppressed your energy, and then look at the ways you're trying to fix the problem of your illness or your lack of money or like the relationship stuff with further suppression, with this self-regulation. Oh my God, like I guarantee you that is like the fast road to nowhere and to the never-ending universe of more to do, more to work, more to learn, more to try, more diet, more restriction. Like I guarantee you when you just begin, just breathe all the way down to your yoni. Just today, do this practice, like breathe fully in your body. There may be pain that you're going to release a lot of energy. There may be pain that comes up. There may be grief that starts to come up as it's releasing. Go through, not try to backtrack. keep going. Breathe, breathe, breathe it, because God, our world is like starving for this. And it really does come through so many of us who are that feminine energy of cultivating power. There's a totally different way to create than what we're conventionally taught with the like, be positive, overcome, keep going, work harder, do more. So if you're like finding like, wow, that's just making me even more fatigued and depleted, go in the opposite direction. I'm at drkimd.com. Definitely, if working with me is resonating, a great way to do that is the retreat I have coming up in May, which is drkimd.com/retreat. There's an online program along with that. So for people who can't travel, like we'll do a lot of the work online before we go. But definitely subscribe if you're interested in more. I will keep tuning in on Instagram because I'm having a lot of fun with it. And share this if you'd like. Invite your spicy friends, because I swear like there's nothing like the power of an unleashed woman. And this is with love, with consciousness, with intention, a precious intention of love. So you do not have to fear your power. You do not have to fear your power. All right. So much love to everyone. Thanks for the hearts. I'll look through the comments just to see if there's any other things that came up. Lose your mind and get out of control. I love the freedom of that frequency. Well, one other thing I'll add, just being in the frequency of what would it look like if I let myself live unleashed? So you'll feel the energy of that. In the masculine mind, we want to answer the question, well, I don't know. Let me journal about it. Let me think about it. Oh, nothing's coming to me. Just be in the frequency of the question. That is how the Omega power is cultivated and works. So you'll feel it. Like even if you're not really that energy sensitive yet, you'll feel as you practice like the essence of that. What would it look like? Whew, I have like goosebumps. Wait, I feel energized. Something's happening. Keep tuning into that. What would it be like if I were completely unleashed? And let that feed you. Let that feed your cells. That's the starting point. All right, everybody. I'm at drkimd.com. I would love to connect more fully, and I will see you soon. Bye.